All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. My name is Brian Foltis. I am the founder and president of Ascend Financial Wellness. Today, we're going to take you through the Lifetime Savings Program. So if you've seen the introduction video, you realize by now we are not just there to do a 1 hour session or module and then pack up and go home. This is a journey. This is a program, and we've intentionally set it out to call it Lifetime Savings Program. And the idea is we have something for everybody, regardless on where they are at in their financial journey. And all we want with our services is to help people wherever they're at ascend, move up wherever they're at. So let's jump in, and I want to show you how we've established this program. So today we've got two different tracks. So obviously right up front, we're going to identify, do we have any consumer or credit card loans? And we identify mortgage loans as something separate, but we are really looking at that credit card, heaven forbid, payday loans or something like that. But then also car loans, student loans, medical bills, those all fall into the debt category. So if you're in that category, you go on the debt eliminator track. If you are debt free and only have your mortgage, then you go on the wealth building track. And as soon as everyone's in debt, they graduate without their debt, we move them over to the wealth building track and we don't look back. So I want to show you what the debt eliminator track looks like. It's quite simple, actually. We've got 3 stages: bronze, silver, and gold. And like I said, these are for individuals trying to get out of debt. And what we do is, first of all, bronze and silver are more or less run concurrently. We're working on these at the same time, where we have an emergency fund of $500 to $1,000. So if somebody's brakes go out, might be speaking from experience here, and have to pay $700, that is not going on the credit card. That just goes from the emergency fund. We rebuild the emergency fund back to there. So when emergencies happen, it doesn't become a complete financial catastrophe or an emergency for us. That's what it's there for. At the same time, what we're going to try to do is we want to get employees to contribute up to the 401k match provided by the employer. So whether that's a 50% match or a 100% match, we want to participate in that. In the world of finance, I'm a finance professor at Butler University, and we found out, I've looked, there are no such things as investments that will give you a 50% or 100% guaranteed return. Your retirement match by your employer is 50% or 100% of free money. So we've got to get everybody to participate in that, no matter what their financial situation is. So once we get those first 2 steps established, now we're going back to the spreadsheet and our budget, and we are going to eliminate debt. And I put in there, we are going to aggressively eliminate debt. You don't just wander through and expect to get out. You have to be intentional and aggressive. And that's where the program and the power of groups and the social network that we have with our services is impactful in a very positive way, that we are going to do this together. You are not alone. We're going to have setbacks, but we've got to get back up. These are the kind of things that we want to encourage our employees to really, really work hard to get out of debt. And then once they get out of debt, we're going to move them over to the wealth building program. So as you see, as the debt is eliminated, most people, when they eliminate their debt, they don't know what to do. Generally, what happens is they get relaxed, lackadaisical, and they go back into debt. And we see them in debt reduction training a year after year. So once they get out of debt, we are going to immediately move them into the wealth building track. First step of the wealth building track is another emergency fund, but this time we have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So now all of a sudden that emergency fund captures more emergencies. If you get sick, if you lose your job, you can capture a lot more than just a auto repair emergency. And that's what we're going to work on first. we build up that emergency fund. And what you're going to notice for those who are getting out of debt is they have a number allocated in their budget devoted to getting out of debt. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that number and move them into the wealth building track. So they already have that chunk of money to propel them into this track. And then at the same time, we've got long-term retirement contributions that we're going to want to bump up. So ideally, we want to start seeing individuals maximizing these retirement contributions, or at the very minimum, 10% of their income. At the same time, we also want to think about short-term savings. So are you saving for a car, a house, anything else that we're thinking about, a furnace? These are the things that we are going to identify as short-term savings goals. We're going to try to allocate a certain amount of our income towards those savings goals. And then finally, if you somehow still are doing so well, you can move into diamond level. This is where we have college savings and extra giving above and beyond our retirement and our short-term savings. I put $5,000 a year. That's an Indiana number because you get 20% tax rebate for Indiana 529 plans. That's going to vary from state to state. And again, with this, we have some flexibility. This is not 100% rigid. This is our roadmap. We're going to ask each individual based on their own personal goals to come up with their own program, their own numbers. This is our framework that we're using, and we're going to assist each individual in making this their own. In addition to that, we're going to really push employee benefits awareness. So this is where not only is this mutually beneficial for your employees, there's a benefit to the employer. Not only are you getting tremendous return in production improvements. If anybody is struggling with their finances, on average, they are spending 3 hours of work time per week on their financial challenges. We've seen that gets reduced down to one once their financial picture gets better. But in addition to that, we're going to really work on this mutually beneficial employer retirement matching. We're going to look at health insurance options, so HSA, try to utilize that. Life insurance options, building our foundation for finances, and anything else that would be applicable to employer benefits. So I know each employer has their own benefits, and we are going to incorporate that into each of the individualized programs. We also like to do incentives, whether they're financial or non-financial. Those who can participate the most or reduce the most debt based on their group, we can have a lot of fun with that. And you'd be surprised, just a little incentive goes a very long way in motivating individuals. And so with that, I'm going to conclude. If you have any questions or if you need anything, you can email me at ascendfinancialwellness@gmail.com or check us out on www.ascendfinancialwellness.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.